He's outside, right?
He's walking in.
Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. I call this meeting of Hamtramck City Council to order. Today is November 26, 2024, and it's 7:05 p.m. Would the clerk call the rules, please?
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Sedman,
Present.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Fai,
Present.
Mr. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all. Thank you.
Why do that one?
Bring a resolution. Bring a resolution.
You do that one.
All right, do we have any community announcements today?
No, I say
No,
after
sir.
the meeting, move it.
No announcements? All right. We have two proclamations. We have the first one is Thanksgiving proclamation. And we have, we don't need to read that. We have Hennessy project overview. Do we have to go through that?
Yes.
Tiffany.
It's a presentation, so we have Tiffany here from Hennessy.
Let's get it on the screen.
Okay, so from what I understand, this last council meeting,
Can you push the button, please?
so my understanding is last council meeting, this map was presented to you. We did add in which contractor is on each project. The only one I didn't do that for is the lead service lines, for the spring 2025 lead service line replacement. But just so you're currently aware, as of today, we have 15 active projects, so 8 water main lead service line replacement projects, 3 just straight lead service line replacement projects. The DSMI is wrapping up, the Kniff Road reconstruction. We have 1 alley, from what I understand, that's complete. We just are in the project closeout phase. And then the relief sewer, 1B, Goodson Water Main. Next slide. So what I've done based on the feedback I received from my staff is that you guys wanted to see which contractor is on each project. What I'm proposing is to sit there and submit this with the engineering report monthly, so you guys can have an update to see where we're at on the status of the construction, and to give updated percent complete on each project. There is some buffer at the end of each project, just for project closeout, or the punch list items and project closeout. So it does, some projects probably look like they're taking a little bit longer, but I had that buffer, I guess, put in there. Next slide. So as we zoom in, you can sit there, definitely see exactly how many are at, the exact percentage. If there's more than 1 water main under a project, I did the overall, where it's highlighted, and then broke down each water main individually on the percent complete to get that average for the overall project of it. Next slide. So again, it's just a zoomed in view. Any questions?
No questions?
Last time when we mentioned with Hennessy engineer, he said he's gonna mention where they start phase 1, from where to where, the phase 1.
Which phase?
Phase 1,
The phase 1B?
yeah.
So right now, what they are doing on phase 1B is they started with the water main replacement. So
Yeah, but the location, we mentioned last time, it's gonna be the ad where they start from phase 1 from this location. Is it gonna be from Holbrook, from Florian, all the way down to Denton?
phase 1B is the is the relief sewer going down Goodson to?
Yeah, the Goodson for the sewer, but the whole location, the whole area, where they start phase 1.
So phase 1 is on Goodson Street with the water main, is the first phase of the project.
Is it part of the one
Maps
of
in
the,
the presentation.
Yeah, if you go to the first map.
the first one?
Yeah, the first slide, please. So, if you,
You want me to zoom in?
yeah, can you zoom in on it all? So the first phase of this is the Goodson water main, so they're putting in the water main first,
Yes,
and then the relief sewer is scheduled to start on or about January 15th.
but the whole location, phase one. I know the sewer, they come from Gibson, the whole main in Gibson. But the whole location, where they start phase one.
Councilman, these are all different projects. They're in different phases. If you look at the map, they're all broken down and the legends at the bottom showing you which ones are which.
Each project is a different
There's
color.
not a necessarily, it's hard to keep track of because we got so many grant funding sources that'll only do so much for each phase. So every one of them's broken down, color coded with the legend on it.
We mentioned this issue 3 years ago, when Kathy, she's still there, we speaking for phase one, they say phase one, they start from Holbrook all the way down.
Are you talking about the overall
The
sewer?
whole location, the whole area.
So if there's,
I know the system and they get in Gibson, Lambekin and Gibson.
there's
Are we
phases,
talking for the whole area, where they start phase one, where they start, second phase?
so we have phases laid out for the overall sewer upgrade, where we said there was phase one, where we did the original one that connected.
Phase 1A was from Denton up to Goodson, so that's what was completed in 2016. So we're on phase 1B, which is gonna be down Goodson, and then down Joseph Campo, starting just, so right around Lehman Street, down to Goodson.
And then the next one after that is down the road where we eventually tunnel under, you know, God willing, tunnel under Panera, which is a very large project, and that'll be the next one after that. But what we did is broke down, well, Tiffany broke down all of the current other projects going on, because there's a lot more other stuff going on besides that. All the lead service lines, all the other sewer main projects, I mean, the whole city is getting replaced in addition to that.
Yeah, like I said, there's 15 active construction projects, so those are all separate construction projects, 15 different contracts that we're managing and overseeing right now in the city.
So, Mr. Mayor, so are you continue doing it throughout the winter season, or?
So there's a water main we can continue, and like I said, the relief sewer, they wanna start that on or about January 15th, I was told. So there's gonna lead service line replacement, we can continue. I think the 25 lead service line, we have that currently on the schedule around April 15th. But if a contractor wants to start a little bit before that, we're not gonna tell them no. So we need to get those replaced.
Okay, so whose color is the phase one?
Who's,
What's the color? You did the,
the phase one, the relief sewer phase 1B is orange. So Goodson Street and Joseph Campo.
so, the orange one?
Yes, sir.
So how many percentage of the phase one done and how many is still?
We just started that, so they just started directional drilling this past week for, the Goodson water main. So we're putting in the water main first, and then they're gonna go through and put in all the, put in gate valves, hydrants, then lead service lines, and on or about January
So
15th, they'll start with the,
You did the phase one, A and B, right? That's
yeah,
what
so
you did?
phase 1A was completed in 2016, we're on 1B now.
Yeah,
So the water main work has started on that.
so,
It's a lot to get your head around.
okay, but it still has to be percentage of the, okay, phase one, B, there is the couple of project, couple of contractors, right?
No, phase 1B is one contractor,
Okay, one contractor,
yes.
okay, so you just started that,
He just started, so he's like I'll say 5%.
okay?
He just
No,
started.
it's just, okay.
Like-
Okay, so next we'll get some more update.
Yes. So my plan is to sit there and give that construction schedule with the engineering report monthly, and I think that'll help you guys see the
So,
progress.
yeah, send it to us monthly, so then we can go,
Okay.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It should mention, Tiffany just made it back.
I know.
We're
I
happy
know.
she's back.
I
Oh,
think
thank
you
you.
have update when we mentioned it last time with the Hennessy engineer. He said next meeting he gonna mention where the phase one from where to where.
Okay, she's gonna bring in new update, so we're gonna get it. Well,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, can I just clarify, Tiffany, what we discussed last council meeting is previously, before we chose that it needs to be done by zones on the service lines, you guys were jumping from street to street, from north to south, and then we decided to have zones. And we said from Denton to Holbrook. So Councilman Someri is saying that, so all those phases that we had previously,
Yes.
where have you guys been, and when the phase that we chose, or the zone that we chose to start from Denton to Holbrook, how far are you guys?
I
That
should
was
bring
what-
that back up. I think.
That was
I'm
his
sorry, I
request last
misunderstood
council
your
meeting.
Question. So I apologize on that. So, yes, in that section, they've directional drilled down Lumpkin, they've installed the main on Denton, and now they're trying to make the connections that, for all the streets that tie into Lumpkin, and that's what they're currently working on. So, go to the, like, third slide, I think is gonna show me, I zoomed in. So, no, one more. So when we look at this, you can see Lumpkin, can you slide over a little? So we're 53% done with the 25360.B, the Airmark ARP Grant Water Main 1, with Bricko Construction, so they're about 53% complete on their portion. Now, if you look at Hewitt, Faber, Andrus, that's at 25360C, that's with a different contractor, Major. They haven't started out there yet. So they're getting ready to start out there, but we need to get Bricko completed with their tie-ins, so then Major Construction can come in there and start tying into all that. So in that section, we're probably about, I'd say 25-30% complete. 53 is for those first 3 water main, the next 3 we haven't even started on yet. So we're about 25%, let's say.
Okay.
Is that better clarification? All right, I apologize for the
No,
misunderstanding.
you're good.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we move to additions and deletions. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, sir.
All right,
Mr. Chair,
yes, Councilman?
I like to add, it's not the resolution, one item under age to discussion about the court enforcement department and activities.
All right, so discussion, that would be H, about code enforcement. All right. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, so, we move to the public comments.
Just one moment, please. I'm sorry, was it Councilman LaFars that seconded?
Councilman Mahmoud.
Mark Corey, Clement, 3 minutes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just want to discuss the recent election. I'm sure this has made news all over the world, what Hamtramck did. And it was funny because I got contacted by Times of London for an interview about the Trump election. I was part of Trump's team, and they said, how'd you guys do it? How'd you guys take Michigan? I said, well, it was just me. They asked Roland Mackey, Guardian contacted Mark Fortnum of Macomb County, and they said, well, this is really a great victory. Our victory margin in the state of Michigan from 2020 to 2021 increased by 4.7%. So we did a hell of a lot better this year than in 2020. And, we have to thank all the people in this particular city, in Dearborn Heights, in Dearborn, who basically flipped, such as Bill Bazzi, I know Mr. Roger Farino is a big kind of the city. Previously, he's now the city attorney out there, and I got a chance to go to some of the city council meetings. It's really interesting. Dearborn, same way, a lot of votes out there, more votes for Republican than Democrat for the first time in a long time out there. And all kinds of interviews around about how it was done here in Wayne County. And I think it was a really a good effort by everybody out here. I noticed Mr. Hassan was actually fighting for the opposing sides, but nevertheless, Trump did come in prime, and he did win. He went to Dearborn, which Harris didn't. And of course, the Democrats had a very controversial convention when they had we had ours in Flint, they had theirs in Lansing same day. And that's still causing problems with civil rights suits now. So we had a Roth who went to sue the city, is now becoming, is now suing the Democratic Party of Michigan and Lavora Barnes, the chairman, for civil rights violations out in federal court. And so is one of the, Mr. Abraham, I think he's Abraham Ghanem, who ran for Congress, is now suing the venue that kicked him out of the venue, basically, with police and had him escort out the parking lot. So it's under a civil rights suit, so just want to point out that it was a very good election day for the GOP, and only sad part we had is we had Slotkin to win by a very small margin, but other than that, it was pretty good in Michigan. And I just want to thank everybody out there who helped Trump win the election. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, if we suspend the rules, we need to vote on the approval of the agenda, please, as amended.
Motion?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And all,
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you. Ferris, Oliver Street.
So at the end of August, I had my backpack was stolen out of my car, and I made the report, and since then I haven't heard nothing. And 2 days ago, my son was screaming, telling me that there is two people trying to break me in my car. I had to grab my gun and start running to outside. I don't know, somehow they found out that I'm coming, and they ran away. And it just happened before my neighbors here that they was next to me and they broke in his son's car. Yesterday we heard about many cars who are broken in our street, and we've been noticing a lot of cars been broken in these few days, and it's like this gang is thriving, they're expanding, I don't know, and they work in like even daytime. We haven't heard about anyone get caught, and we want to see, we want to know what's going on. Why is it happening recently? It's happening, it's like, every day it's getting worse and worse, all right? And as you know, like, I don't know, is that would be our responsible to start protecting our own properties? I mean, why wouldn't see the police driving around? Like, why we haven't heard about anyone get caught from previous accidents that been happening?
Mr.
Thank you.
Chair.
Do you live in
Yeah,
Oliver?
question.
Oliver Street.
Oliver, because I heard a lot of complaints
Is that
today.
what time?
Huh?
What time?
It was 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:20
AM,
p.m.
PM?
Yeah.
So, well, now, if police don't do nothing,
And
you have to do yourself something.
I mean, because I haven't, my backpack had $15,000 that I was taking to the bank for my business. I had my laptop, I had my flash drive that I haven't, it's a work of years that I've been working to, my taxes and things. I've been working until today to fix that. And now I see like a car that I just bought and they were trying to steal it. So I was getting crazy. If I met him, I would have shoot, And,
What kinds of car he's
Huh?
driving?
and this is the thing, it was, my son said it was Charger. It was a blue Charger or something like that.
Okay.
And I've been hearing about Wagoneer car, about Charger. It's like people have seen the same car again and again. And also the guy that stole, okay, sometimes.
No, you got
Any
30
question?
seconds.
Yeah, I mean, somebody sent me a video for someone broken in a car, and it was almost the same guy who stole my backpack. So those guys they haven't get,
On the right.
they still working, they still doing their.
See, if you see the car, I will give you my number, call me. I know how
I
to
mean, I'm
get it.
working, it's
Very
not
clear.
like, it's not gonna happen.
Block the both side,
Yeah.
then we're gonna see what we can do.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you.
If police not doing nothing,
can
we
we
gotta do
ask,
something.
can we ask the chief, please, look into that? Whenever you get a chance, get their phone number and find out whenever you get after the
Even-
meeting, just
Yeah,
get
I
their.
think we have more
Mr. Mayor,
comments coming.
Yeah, on the same thing, so.
We have
See if you have
more,
any update, maybe you can give us.
yeah, after, we have more comments about this car.
اوكي خذوا عبوا الورقه بالعربي عادي قوموا تخابروا بالعربي كلكم قوموا عبوا حتى بالعربي عادي
We can move to the next person if you have
Next person,
someone.
yeah.
That's it, public comment.
That's it?
well he wants to talk but they don't know they have to sign up yeah
Oh, okay.
For expediency purposes, you wanna just invite him off?
He's just saying, it's the same thing, it's like they're making, do you wanna speak?
Yeah, you can come
Did you
to
want
the
to
podium.
speak?
I would just give you the paper after.
Yeah,
I live in Oliver Street, you know, and wake up today, turn my car on, like everything inside it is out. Before yesterday, my other neighbor, they broke his glasses, trying to steal, I don't know, something. Also, the other neighbor is the same thing 2 months ago. They stole you know, I think the wallet. So like almost the same area like on Oliver Street.
The chief will look into it.
All right, thank you.
Just write your name down on that card and give it to me.
All right,
That's all the time, Mr. Mayor.
so, thank you. Next is the consent agenda, and we have item A, approval of minutes from the November 12, 2024 regular city council meeting. B, approval of invoice registered date ending November 26, 2024. C, approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending November 26, 2024.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No objections?
Nope.
No. Thank you. And we move to the new business, and we have the first resolution, 2024-149, adopting proposed NEZ zone.
Motion?
Second.
Mayor, I have Isabel here to speak on this, and also all the rest right after that, so
All right.
might as well just keep her up.
I'm actually gonna get my water bottle. I've been a little sick, so I'm sorry if I have
Bless.
to take a break sometimes.
Where's your mask?
Yeah, I was wearing it today.
No, it's a Republican
meetings.
era.
It is. Okay, so today you are going to vote on the adoption of the first of our 5 new NEZ zones that we've been working on the past several months, and we're glad the day is finally here. This is what we're calling phase 1 of the new NEZ adoption. And Ronna, if you could pull up the PowerPoint slides for the presentation update. I've just been putting the same checklist up to keep council updated about the progress we've been making so far in compliance with the state regulations. And after you vote this NEZ into effect today, in February, we essentially begin the process over again for the remaining 4 zones. So on the next slide, Ronna, would be great. Today you're voting to adopt Site 1, which is this east portion of Conant. And on the next slide, you can see that 6 months after you dissolved the previous NEZs that were overlapping with other zones and causing us issues, we'll be able to get this second phase rolling. To help with that, we've also created a guidelines and procedures document that will be adopted for all Hamtramck's NEZs moving forward. We've, of course, talked with you extensively about this process, and we're expecting the need to talk to residents within the zones extensively about it as well, to support those who are interested in the program. So it'll be a tool for us to use in those conversations, and a tool for residents as well to understand the eligibility. And it clarifies the minimum investments that they need to make and other things to be eligible for the program. So I welcome any questions and ask that you approve the resolution.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman Farid.
Elizabeth, my question is, I see there's $120,000. Is that the highest limit of how much the entire project will cost?
No,
So it can't exceed more than that?
that is the property value, the existing property value, if a home is to be renovated. So it can't exceed $120,000 in true cash value, which is what we presented the list of property values to you previously, to qualify. They can invest as much as they want after that. It has to be at least $15,000 per residential unit if they're rehabbing the existing structure. But this program is targeted at increasing housing stock and quality in communities, especially when there's vacancy or either dilapidated or homes that are in need of some repair or investment opportunity. So that's why that $120,000 cap applies.
Okay, to clarify, so the residents, whoever watching this video, could really know the NEZ. So if someone has a previous house and is trying to expand it, so it has to be within the 120,000, right,
Yes,
to be qualified?
yes,
So if it's 140, they're not qualified?
correct. That's per state regulation. If you own a lot, if you own an empty lot, if you own an existing house and you want to demolish the house and you have lot, then you know, then the sky's the limit essentially with that. But if you have an existing house and you want to renovate it, $120,000 value, true cash value of your home is the cap.
And then how about for those who wants to build a brand new home? And that's why we had this that's why I brought this up, is
Yep.
because we wanna help these who's trying to build a brand new house.
Right, then.
And also whoever wants to expand their home.
Right.
And I know building a house right now, it's not gonna be 120.
Right, so the cap rules for that are different. If you are starting with an empty lot, you spend, I think in the guidelines that like the cheat sheet we laid out, you spend $100,000 easily building a house. Anything at that and above, you qualify. So the rules are different for that.
Okay, all right.
All right.
And then one more question, sorry, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
And then for the other phases, how come it didn't come like in one package, so we all could, and so people can clarify why was this just the only one and then we're working on the rest?
Sure.
So can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll answer it in two parts. The first is that the state rules want us to give public notice of you approving these processes to all the taxing entities for each individual zone that we adopt. Our zones are going to be scattered throughout the city, so they have to be separate for that purpose. And second, we had some existing expired NEZ zones from the recently resolved Sarah Garrett lawsuit, and those zones had to be dissolved first in order to allow us to adopt the new ones. We'll be able to do the remaining 4 that council had discussed and that we proposed all at once, essentially, when we get beginning with this process again in February with the public notice.
All right, thank you for your hard work.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Well,
That'll be all, Mr. Chair.
thank you. I was joking about the mask. We don't mandate it here.
No,
so
I know.
Thank you.
I think the one that was coughing was our city clerk.
Oh, man. All right. We can go ahead.
It's going around for sure.
The sniffles?
Yeah.
Well, we're all here at work. Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Sedman,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-149 approved.
Thank you. All right, next one is resolution 2024-150, approving street closure for Winter Bazaar.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Mayor, Isabel here to discuss this again. I will say that the night bazaar that Isabel and crew had over the summer was a very big success. And because of that, we decided to do a winter bazaar. Pretty excited about this.
So as City Manager just said, we're requesting a street closure to expand an event that I know I saw many of your faces at the previous time that DDA put this on. It would close the street from Belmont to Joseph Campo, on Belmont from Joseph Campo to the west alley there for the purposes of putting a large heated tent in that space with some additional lighting features to draw visitors into Pope Park, which is the location of the previous bazaar. The goal of these markets is to provide a space for business owners who are local, who maybe don't have a brick and mortar business yet, and to provide them a space to get a larger audience and customer base, and hopefully eventually fill some of our vacant storefronts in downtown. We had about 600 visitors last time, and we hope to have at least that many and more this next time. It'll take place on the 14th of December, so we just needed a day before that and a couple of days after to get everything set up and torn down.
And how long this is for? 1 week or?
It's a one-night event. It'll take place from approximately 4 to 9 p.m. Those are the hours that we had it last time, and we'll be setting up throughout that day. The previous bazaar, with those same hours, I think my team and my department started set up at 9 a.m. and then put the event on and then had everything torn down by 10. So that's about when we'll expect everyone to be in Pope Park on the day of the event. But we have a rental company that's providing heaters and the large tent, so they'll be there for a bit longer this time.
Are you gonna keep the lightings for a little longer or gonna just one night too?
I would love to have the lighting feature up a little longer. Ron, if you want to pull up actually the street
Yeah, it looks
map.
very nice on the picture that I.
Yeah, we have to get people inside this nice large heated tent, which is gonna be placed in that area in pink. And then the LED light display in Hope Park, we would love to be more of a permanent feature up in downtown, if we can get it set up soon enough. It's just a positive thing to have people who are strolling along shopping businesses, catches your eye, they spend longer in the main corridor, so. That's the plan.
Nice.
I think you're gonna extend to the Corso Street, then second empty lot. That's what we talked last time.
Maybe, we'll see.
What time it will start?
For setup, it would be closed starting at 8 AM on the 13th.
Then we can save some money breakfast. It's nice though, something different.
Yeah, I hope you'll come. Staff in my department's been working really hard on it, so we're excited.
Who did you see last time from the council?
I believe.
Sumari every day.
All of them as well, they were all.
Yeah, they.
Not all of them.
So December
what was
13th,
there
I know
when
they
they
were
right?
show up?
there,
all of
and Councilman Al-Samiri were there. I saw,
Oh.
I believe at least.
I thought that was the only one, that's why I asked the question.
Yes.
Oh, Mayor try to take the credit.
Well, the building next door is his, so he was visiting his building.
Mr. Mayor showed up at the end and then said we needed more people.
That's what we said, we
That
have
gets
to
500.
extend, make it bigger. We have another empty lot, Corso Street. Make
Okay,
it both sides.
all right.
I do believe it's gonna grow for
Yeah,
next
yeah,
year,
yeah.
especially
I
in the
know.
summer, for
Yeah.
sure. We're hoping to do it a lot.
It was a very good event last time, and it was first time, so I expect it to be better this time, so, thank you.
We'll do that.
All right. Vote.
Councilman Musa,
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilman Hassan,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Sedman,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-150 approved.
Thank you. The next one, resolution 2024-151, authorizing the city administration to enter into an agreement with Rhonda Jenkins for purchase of 12026 Saint Open.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Mayor, the resolution before council now, this was actually one of the homes that we received in foreclosure from Wayne County this past summer. The owners that lost it came to us and said they would like to reclaim it. They're trying to get back on their feet. And we basically agreed because we thought it was the right thing to do, with some conditions, of course. There were some exterior things that the city had noted that needed fixing, particularly with the yard. The neighbors had some grievances about, so we took it upon ourselves to remedy those situations and add it back into the cost. And we hope to now indeed sell it back to the original owners that are still technically there.
Okay,
Sounds good.
any question about that?
No, sir.
So
Yes.
that's allowed when we, and
Get roasted.
because, okay, I mean, we would love to help our residents, get their properties back. But last time, it was an issue when we tried to do something for someone, and we had to go back to the county and stuff. So I just wanna understand if it's okay, because this is something good for the residents to claim their property back.
So the last time, Mr. Mayor, that it occurred, I believe it was a business actually on Joseph Campo at the time, and we hadn't actually purchased it yet. So at that time, they still had to get it from the county, because it had never been turned over to us. We had never bought it, it never had transferred. So in this case, the sale was actually complete before the resident's previous owner came to us. In fact, they were actually still living in the house when we took ownership of it. So we figured rather than evict a family out of their house that was originally in it, we figured it was the right thing to do to give them an opportunity to redeem it one last time from us. And that's where we're at. I would suggest we, as a policy, if that ever happens again, to do the same. Now, if it was completely vacant, I wouldn't have said that at all. But, we're not gonna take someone just randomly and sell them a house without doing an auction. But like I said, this circumstance was a little bit different because it was their house. They were still living in the house when we obtained it even.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman Hassan?
there is the one incident happened, I remember, either Zeno Street or somewhere. One of the guy lost for only 1 year's tax, did not pay, and after that 5 years he paid, and he lost the house, but we did not give it to him. I think there is the resolution we had it council previously. All those houses or empty lot has to go to the beat, if I'm not making mistake. So somebody have to look for that one. We don't want a lawsuit or anything unless attorney or city, somebody have to tell us, no, there is nothing, was resolution or something has to go through the beat. That's why favoritism to a stop, we all decided one time has to go through the beat. That's why I remember. So I wanna, if that case, I wanna put in hold until clear and bring the next council meeting.
Unless the attorney investigate.
Yeah, we hold the property in fee simple, so we can do with it whatever we want. There's also some restrictions in the contract that require them to fix their roof, for example, and to abide by various code enforcement things. So if they don't do that, then we have the right to take the property back, which is part of the deal. So it isn't just as simple as they're just paying a couple of dollars. They're not. They're paying back to the city for what we've spent, plus they're making promises for the future. But no, we can do whatever we want.
Okay,
Mr.
that's
Chair?
good then.
Yes, Councilman.
I think this situation should have been addressed
Yes.
to council and mayor beforehand. This should have came to us before you guys agreed, telling these homeowners, you know what, we're gonna give it back to you. I think because it's technically it's owned by the city, we had the first hands on this, like Councilman Hassan has said that usually it's you know, it goes to, you know, for betting. So this should have been, came to council and mayor first, discuss to us about it and what the hell's going on to it before you do any process.
Councilman, that's why it's before you now to approve it. That's how it works. We can negotiate contracts prior, and then they come to you for your approval. This is your venue now to actually approve that or not. My strong recommendation is that you approve this. This is the family that lost the house in this house. Not only do I not think it would be right to evict them and then put it up for auction at this point when they're willing to buy it back, but I really do think it would give the city a pretty big black eye for doing it. We have not had this type of situation before. The last one was a business on Joseph Campo that we never took possession of, and I believe the one that Councilman Hassan referred to before that was a vacant lot.
No,
that
there was
attached,
house.
but it was not a home, and they were not living in it.
I know that one of the homes. Anyway, it's up to us.
Who's the owner? Are they here?
I don't believe they're here. I've never personally met them. Isabel has been working with me on this, obviously, for the overseeing, but dealing directly with them. They're not here, are they, Isabel?
They're not similar to any lot sale. We don't require the person to be present to ask you for approval.
Okay.
They've made a $1,500 good faith deposit on the home already and have agreed to allow the city to make the repairs that we've requested.
And how long they been living in this house for? How long they
It's
own
been
it?
in their family for some time. I'm not sure the exact number of years.
And what time frame they have, like, to fix all the issue?
It's a period of 2 years with an optional extension of 1 to repair the rest of the roof.
Not a violation.
The context was that they had the ability and funds from an employer to pay off their taxes. They presented a check, tried to pay it with the county. The check was not in the owner's name, and so the county denied the check and didn't accept the payment. And then they found out that the city owned the house instead.
So he's not the original owner, his family member trying to take over the house, look like, right?
No, it's the original.
He's the original owner?
Yep.
And second one is the lot, I
If it was just a renter,
guess.
Councilman, we would not be in this situation. But this is actually the owner who lost it that's still in the house.
But when we got the violation for the whole neighbor, the house very dangerous. Many years violation, nobody take anything. Still same thing. Many, the whole area is very dangerous, the house, and the violation is bad.
What we've been able to do to address those concerns, Councilman, is have code, quite frankly, go out and give me an entire list of what
Mr.
needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
made sure that it was taken care of at the city's expense, just like we would have to do if we sold any city property.
She's been keeping me updated, basically, she's sent me every step of what she's been doing, and they've made a lot of fixes. So there's been a long list of things that they needed to be fixed. Isabel has made, I can't, maybe 15, 20 things that fixed so far, so.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I kind of agree with the Mr. Attorney. And also councilman has lots of complaint came from the neighborhood. So that case, I kind of agree with the attorney. Give the time limit. If they cannot fix all the violation according to her, we can take it back.
Well, just to clarify, the roof,
It's
they
been
have
done.
2 years, but the rest of the violations, if they get any violation, they have to immediately
Okay.
fix it. So it's not, the roof, they have time, but
It's
anything
okay.
else, they don't have.
We're gonna continue monitoring, Councilman, there's no question there. We've been monitoring before this happened, and because we had it, we took the opportunity to remedy some of them ourselves. They're paying for it, of course, but we are gonna continue with it. But
Why I'm-
we've done significant modifications to it already.
Why I'm saying that, my one of the friend lost the lot, the time limit, if you don't do nothing, you have to give the back to us. So city took it previously, so I want you to set up the time, reasonable time to fix it. If not, then we're gonna take over.
It's in the agreement, Councilman, 100%.
Yeah.
We put it in there.
Okay, because the timing makes you not like a 5 years, not, you
No.
know.
It's 2
yeah.
years for the roof, and all other existing violations have been completed.
But any violations that pop up, they have to take care of immediately.
Okay.
That's fine.
Is it safeable to live as of today?
I think that now it is, one of the things that we had to do was send an exterminator into the property, and I also incorporated into the purchase agreement a down payment for a 1 year from now follow-up, to have an exterminator come back. So we've made a lot of improvements, and there are young kids in the house, and I think it is much better than it was when we took ownership of it.
We took some precautions to extend it out.
Okay, so it seems like even the business on Joseph Campo that time, it was because they missed paying $700 3 years ago, but every year they pay 7,000 tax, which means it wasn't done on purpose, like it was just, there was some miscommunication. And that's why the county asked us, they said it's up to us to return it to them, and then the owner would claim it from them, and instead of paying 200,000, they just pay whatever small amount of money and get it back. So in that case, when we find that there was no, purposeful negligence or some, ignoring the violations or tax payments or whatever, in that case, we can help the residents to claim their property back. But sometimes the Wayne County screws up, like they sent me a bill that they will take my house because I didn't pay the tax, which was not true. We got all the payments from the city, we showed them, they were like, oh, we are sorry, there was misunderstanding. So I had them send a new invoice that I owe them nothing, in case I go somewhere and they come to claim my house or something.
Mr. Mayor, you might recall too that when the county offered this house to us for auction, there was another house and a few lots as well. We still have the other house that we intend to auction off. And plus the original lots on that list came off the list because actually Councilman Samiri took it upon himself to help that resident to redeem it before it even came to us. So same thing. So Councilman jumped in and got a resident involved and they got that off the list before I even purchased it. So we're very conscious of this. We want the owners to keep their homes and keep their properties, but there's limits, of course, but the key is, I think, to keep our residents in their homes.
All right.
Mr. Chair, pay your taxes before Councilman Samari buys your house.
He's gonna have to pay
It's
300,000.
the winter time. We don't want anyone evict from home. It's the winter time if they're
He's ready.
young kids.
All right, so we can vote on this one, please.
Councilman Al Samiri.
They start for me. Yes.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Councilman Sedman.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-151 approved.
Thank you. Next one is resolution 2024-152, authorizing the city administration to enter into an agreement with Jamal Jawani for the purchase of 3269 Jacob.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, happy to report this will be another one of our lots leaving us. Even more happy because I know this particular resident has been wanting this one for quite some time.
All right.
This is a part of our new lot sale program, which has a limited term availability. CED delivered only to neighbors directly adjacent to 12 lots. We hand-delivered envelopes to them saying that they were eligible to apply for the lot if they wanted it. So these are not, widely advertised, but it's only available because we're not asking for a development guarantee from any of these residents. They could use it as a yard if they wish, so it's not available to the community broadly. So this particular lot is 3269 Jacob, and the fee for all of these side lots in the neighbor side lot program is $10,000. He may be here, I don't
No,
think he
he's
is,
not.
but they're not required to be here, as I've said, but ask for your approval, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the good idea though. Like 15 years back, we had this system. The first priority is the neighborhood, next house.
Yeah. A lot of people in the previous lot sale program
Yep.
wanted them but couldn't develop, so
Okay.
we ended the old one and this is the new one, and we'll wrap it up shortly and auction the rest, basically.
Yes,
All right,
good.
thank you.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Sedman.
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-152 approved.
Thank you. Next one is resolution 2024-153, authorizing the city administration to enter into an agreement with Hizam Hussein for the purchase of 2330 Gray Lane.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, very similar to the last one, just a different lot. Neighbor agreed to purchase it, happy to sell it off.
All right.
Same price, same thing.
Councilman Hassan.
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud.
Yes.
Councilman Sedman.
Yes.
Councilman Musa.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-153 approved.
Thank you. Next one is resolution 2024-154, approving site plan for 3011 Holbrook.
Motion.
Offer.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, as always, happy to bring forth more development in our city. Isabel can take it from here. Rana, did you put it up?
The plans, please, would be great, page 3. So this is an existing vacant lot at 3011 Holbrook, just east of Mitchell, in our multi-use district. It's a mixed-use development with commercial on the main floor and residential above. The owner of Noon Cut Salon wants to build this structure to have his business relocated across the street and then become a landlord for residential tenants. And then on page 3,
I only have the application and resolution.
There's a picture of the vacant lot
Is it-
on there, and then also right below it is the image of the front of it.
Is it the application?
What is
No,
it
it's
labeled?
the,
Site plan review.
I was thinking of the plans dated the 21st. I think I saw them there today. It's okay though.
It's on there.
CED and the building departments discussed this at length in the past couple weeks with the applicant and ensured that they've met all of our requests for changes. So everything's in compliance with the ordinance, and we've added some of those things as conditions of approval.
There it is.
That it's subject to review of the fire and building department, that exterior and rooftop utility screenings are in compliance as well, but they've agreed to all those things and actually already included them in plans, so we do have, welcome up.
The
Would you like to
other
introduce
ones.
yourself? I'm all set, you can come up.
This side. Well, Moon Salon is a great
نتكلم
place.
بالعربي يعني نتكلم بالعربي عادي.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
أنا عبد الله مالك المون صالون. وشليت الأرض هذا من شان أسوي فيها هذا المشروع الذي بيكون إن شاء الله صارم مثل ما معه بالمخطط ما قدمها المقاول، وأتمنى منكم الموافقة على هذا.
Thank you.
Can you explain?
All right, thank you. So he's planning to develop it into a new business similar to the one he owns now, which is a hair salon, right? So,
Yeah, they
and
have
so-
business going on right now. It's a great place, beautiful place. A lot of customer I see all the time. It's very close to my house.
All right.
I'm glad he's doing their
Location.
own business now.
Beautiful location.
All right.
Ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-154 approved.
Thank you.
Congratulations, brother.
Al-Mabruk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next one. I wanted to say congratulations. I was rushing, so. Resolution 2024-155 approving memorandum of understanding between the city of Hamtramck and the Hamtramck Parks Conservancy.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. Mayor, this is a yearly thing we've been doing with the Parks Conservancy, where basically we turn over the control of the stadium to them. It's been very successful in the years past, but we wanted to take it one step farther now as the Parks Conservancy is kind of coming into their own. They want to, which we're happy to give to them, manage all of the city parks as far as rentals are concerned, which takes it off the plate of CED and allows CED to clearly do some other things that are needed to be done, and puts it squarely with them, which is, in my opinion, probably a better fit anyhow. They still will continue to give us revenue as they have in the past. It's never been a lot of revenue, it's only been 1,000 total anyway, and it frees us up. So I strongly encourage council to approve this plan.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman.
so if we do, approve this tonight, are they responsible for maintaining those parks? From grass, from everything? Or we still have to use our,
We're not to that point yet, Councilman. We're still
And then-
doing a shared maintenance on things. All the other parks, we're still on the hook for. We still do the grass and other things at Veterans, for example. But the whole plan is to ramp it up to eventually get to the point where they are doing it in its entirety. And this is actually one of, what'll be eventually many steps in that process.
Go ahead.
Councilman Mahmoud?
Yes.
Councilman Sedman?
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri?
Yes.
Councilman Musa?
Yes.
Councilman Hassan?
Yes.
Councilman Rafai?
yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2024-155 approved.
Thank you. Last one, discussion about the code enforcement.
Motion?
Offer,
Second.
Double offer, double second.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman Hassan, go ahead.
nobody like to speak, everybody like to talk about it, but let me start with that. So, some code enforcement officers, I think some of the point violating the law, because they're going inside the backyard, knocking the door, they should not maybe go there, because some privacy. So there is the couple of Bangladeshi houses, they go knock the door and backyard, and a family is scared of who is coming from my back alley. And also, second one is still some of the ticket is going the wrong address. Something was guilty neighborhood, like a 2121, ticket is coming 2122, owner of the 2122 comes to the city hall, okay, we have a problem, we'll take care of you. And after 15-20 days, ticket going back to same house with that, and people getting made up that. Third one, so now some of the court enforcement putting the ticket up or notice to paint outside these, that. It's the winter time, sometimes family issues, sometimes some senior citizens are also winter. And nobody have right now opportunity or ability to paint outside. So those kinds of things we need to consider. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We have to stop violating the law, common sense law. Second, wrong address, and I think it's coming. There's a lot of discussion in the community. I don't know how we're gonna handle it. Just, that's why I brought the issue.
So thank you, Mr. Councilman, bring it to the agenda today. It is becoming a huge issue. We kind of gossiping from, it's not even that, even business letter going to the personal entity for their correction. This guy don't even own the business. So it's a lot of mistaking happening from the code enforcement department. Also, I think we just, our code enforcement getting too aggressive. We looking for small things, it's old houses, many people it's difficult to do it, even though this is season, it's cold weather coming in. We're looking for outside things that are not necessary. And when someone asks me, I can't even take my car to the alleys, and they're coming in asking me to fix my garage door. Why don't you guys do your step first, then ask me to fix my garage door? We don't even use it anymore because there is no access to go to the alleys, so that bad. So we need to have, I don't know, somehow we need to fix this department to, I don't know what is other councilmen think about it. What should it come? We need to come up with some basic.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
one more point I forget. Some of the officer actually by mistakenly told the people, my boss tell me I have to write them many ticket for them many period of the. I'm just saying that, what could be not, but we not believe that. But if it is real that one of the guy leaving tomorrow back home, he got the wrong address ticket, and he came to City Hall. He said, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. So those need to be correct, honestly.
It looks like it's getting a harassment situation. We are harassing the community for code enforcement. I'm
Mr.
sorry to
Mayor,
use that
go
word,
ahead.
but I have to.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
not only this, I just add a little bit things. Some of those code enforcement officers was the weekend, evening time, night time, Saturday, Sunday. It is not usually happen before in our administration, but people have a concern too. Do I allow to do Saturday morning, Saturday night, or Sunday morning, Sunday night?
Maybe we're gonna send them to Oliver Street, 9 o'clock.
Mr. Mayor, if council's had their say, I'm happy to start addressing some of these. All right, Councilman Hassan, in regards to knocking on the doors, any code officer, police officer, anyone can knock on someone's door. As we know, there's a lot of, units in these houses, sometimes upwards of 4 to 6 units in a house. I can't speak to specifically who, because I haven't talked to the person that you're referring on this, so I don't know what the exact circumstances are, but, it could be any variable things. The code officers are not supposed to go on to someone's property to photograph or investigate. Not that they can't go on the public-facing spots, like that anyone, like a mailman can walk on, because they could, but as a rule, we tell them, don't go in backyards, stay off the property, because we just don't want the problems. But with that said, if they are knocking on a door, it's probably because they're trying to get someone's attention to either A, give them a warning, or B, clarify something. I can't say, but I'm of course happy to speak to whoever it is you're referencing. I'm available anytime to address this and deal with it. But as a rule, they're not supposed to just go in people's yards, because we've told them, don't do that, it's not worth the hassle. But knocking on a door is kind of indicative of they want to, trying to address something. So, it could have been a warning rather than a ticket.
No. So yes, they should not go from the alley to backyard they should come to the front, knock the door, no problem. They're going the backyard. That time, maybe my sister somebody is not that ready for that time, they're in the backyard, they are safe. So those kinds of things happen.
Oh, I
But
absolutely understand your concern.
thank you, you did take care of that one. I think Rana and you has a text message to me. You did take care of that one, we're not saying that everything bad, thank you for that.
Absolutely, but I
But
would
the
caution
other
you,
people,
without-
maybe they cannot come here, that's all.
Without knowing the circumstances, I mean, some entrances for homes are in the back, so I mean, and I don't know the circumstances, but I'm happy to address anyone that had a problem, and obviously calm their fears. As far as wrong addresses go, I mean, it's gonna happen. We're doing a lot of enforcements. Not everybody has their addresses in the back yet. We're trying to get to that point. But, I mean, it's still gonna happen. I mean, there's humans involved in the process, so there is going to be human error. We're trying to train out of it, but frankly, we have a lot of new people too. And, we have a lot of part-timers, and frankly, there's a lot of turnover in the part-timers. So it's kind of a constant training for that, and we're trying to do better, and I really do think we have been doing better on that. As far as sending it to the wrong business, Councilman, you had mentioned that. A lot of times what happens is, we have responsible parties, listed in the system, and if someone doesn't come in, they may change ownerships of the business or the property or whatnot, but if they're not updating the responsible party in that, sometimes it defaults to the old responsible party. I suspect that might have happened in this situation, because we tend to, we try to have people come in and claim the responsibility. But with that said, we've also recently taken measures to try and correct that too. So one of the things we're doing internally now is anytime someone turns in a property transfer affidavit, it's sparking an email to basically every department in the city, and everyone's been directed to make sure everything is updated, which doesn't always automatically happen when you update the system. Our BSNA system doesn't really talk to each other all that well sometimes. So we're trying to take the computer out of it and just manually do it so that doesn't happen. So we actually are addressing that. But I suspect what happens, it was probably the person never told us. As far as quota, Councilman, you said, they certainly don't have quotas. Now, we do encourage people to work. I mean, if someone's working for a city, we want them to put in a good day's effort. We don't expect someone to come in and just drive around all day and do nothing. We want our employees to work hard. So there's certainly encouragement to go out there and do your job, but there was never, ever be expected on a quota. And we do try to spread out our code enforcements to work across weekends sometimes. We are limited on cars. We do have more people than we do have cars, but we break it up throughout the week for that reason, to also get coverage over the weekend, because frankly, we know people sometimes do things over the weekend because they think we're not here. That's when a lot of people do those projects that they decided not to get the permit for, which happens quite frequently. So there is absolutely no rule against city code not working on a weekend, and frankly, I encourage it to make sure the coverage is there. And there was also comments about not doing stuff in the winter. We wouldn't expect someone to paint in this weather, but we may put it on notice. But the one thing we do really good is giving people time and opportunity to correct their violations, but all they gotta do is communicate to us. If we were to check someone on a paint thing right now, and they came in and said, hey, it's a little cold, there's no question that any one of our staff would probably give them 6 months to do it, and say, we'll check back with you in 6 months, so we'll wait to the summer months. We are very, very flexible with all code issues, because at the end of the day, the only thing we want them to do is remedy the code issues. We do a lot because we're busy, we're trying to clean up the city, and I'm sure you can ask anyone, the city is looking a lot better. We get it all the time about how the alleys are looking better. We haven't seen it in decades looking like this. The streets are looking better. The garbage is down. Now, do I still think we got a long way to go? We absolutely do. Do we have things to keep tweaking within the code enforcement? Absolutely we do. Will we continue to get better? Absolutely we will. But we also, I can say our city attorney works with residents all the time and dismisses things like hand over fist, because people come in and say, look, I fixed it. And, I'm sure Mr. Maraway can speak to that.
Anybody that's compliant, I'll dismiss their case. If it's like the 5th weed ticket, I'm gonna make you pay a little bit, but, for the most part, my directions to my staff is be very fair, and when I review everything, I make sure that if I see that we're being a little harsh to somebody, to reduce it, but if they bring me proof that they fixed it, that triggers automatically, I'll dismiss it for them, because that's all I care about, is they fixed the problem, cleaned up their yard, added their address, or whatever it may be, you know.
And Councilman, you said the gentleman was worried because we had mixed up the address. I mean, if it's brought to our attention, we immediately send it over to fix our mistake, and they frankly don't even have to worry about it at that point. Mr. Maroway dismisses it because he realized it was a mistake. Mr. Mayor, Council, was there any other questions? I'm
Look,
happy
first
to-
of all, as you said, the person, the business letter went to the person, he never owned the business in his whole life. It's a name match, that's why they send it to that person. So, I mean, those are error like all over. Secondly, you know, we're not doing our part. Like, people are not happy about our police department, that what's going on in the city. You know, our crime is not going down. We have installed the camera. People still driving crazy and hitting people, people getting killed. I don't know what's the, situation of all those cases. But many other things. Our city is not that clean from our part, but we need to clean. But we emphasizing people to do their part. So it has to be a balance. We need to do our part, then you can tell them, hey, do your part too. Our streets are not clean, you know, that's, do we do any fall cleanup the street? None of them has done, I think. Other day I shared a picture with all the council group together meetings, then look at our street. So, I mean, we can't just push people to do their part and we're not doing our part. That's the sad part.
Councilman, we are doing our best with the resources we have to clean the city. I think we're being extremely reasonable with people. We have talked to our staff about don't be doing petty stuff. There's plenty of big things that need addressing. And as always, I encourage council, mayor, residents, if you have a problem, bring it to me. We remedy it, 100%. We look at anything that's brought to us to fix it. You know, we're pretty much an open book for that.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman, go ahead.
I think what we're trying to get to is, if our department are doing what they're supposed to be doing, we don't need to come back to you and tell you, hey, you gotta solve this. This is what we're trying to get into, is somehow get these departments or the code enforcement, as, you know, they have mentioned, to do what they need to be, you know, doing, instead of, you know, we have these residents come back to us complaining, and then we have to come back to you so we can solve these issues. So as much as you can, try to get the code enforcement on point, so we don't have to go back in these little circles, back and forth. That's it.
100%, Councilman. We are improving, we're improving every day. Frankly, a lot of people just aren't used to being forced to clean their stuff neither, so that's part of a problem. And then plus, you know, quite often we find that people bring stuff to us that just isn't founded. You know, so I encourage, if you do find something, bring it to me so we can get to the bottom of what exactly happened. If it's on our end, our people will improve. If it's on the residents' end, I'd like to be able to tell them, well, this is what you need to do. But, you know, we've had decades of the city not necessarily doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, we've had whole stints of years where we've had no code enforcement officers. So, I mean, there is going to be some growing pains until we get exactly where we need to be. And at the end of the day, there's always, to some degree, gonna be some sort of human error. Unless it's a robot doing it, I mean, there is always gonna be a human factor in this. So you do the best you can, you train it the best you can, you keep trying to improve, and you continue to improve. And frankly, we've gotten a lot better. It has got cleaner. We have been doing what we're supposed to be doing. But, you know, this is a partnership. You guys bring stuff to us, the residents bring stuff to us, we go back and forth, we see what we can improve, we work together to make it a better thing. Councilman Mooney sort of touched on two topics here. He touched on one that wasn't related to code enforcement. He talked on the police. I'm happy if you want to close out this topic and maybe make, you know, maybe the chief can speak too. But I'll just quickly say that I believe crime is actually down. But, you know, the chief's been doing CompStat weekly, which, you know, he can tell you what the exact stats are. But at the end of the day, we are in an inner city. We are surrounded by a larger city that has a whole series of problems as well. You know, in my opinion and what I've seen over 2 decades, it's got significantly better, and it's continued to. It's even got better in the past couple of years. But I don't want to steal the chief's thunder on that. If you guys want to close the code topic, or if you have any other questions, I mean, we can certainly move on.
So one thing I want to emphasize, whatever we talk about here needs to be delivered to the code enforcement, because, I mean, if, I don't think they watch us, I don't think they know what we discuss. I have noticed that I was one of the victims of sending violation to the wrong address. They sent me a picture of a different house and came to my house. So we don't have time to, run to the city, fix these problems. They have to be careful when they,
There has
find
been
the
disciplinary
address.
action.
Yeah,
There was at
and I
least one
noticed
person-
when people complain to me, I looked at the name because they have their name down when they send the violation, and it seems like I found that name frequently with multiple violations. So it needs to be addressed because people get stressed out when they receive a violation and they are not responsible for it. And so that's one issue that needs to be addressed. They have to be careful. They have to do their job right because people have stuff to do. They don't have time to run to the city and, waste time to fix the problem that they did not commit.
I agree with you 100%, Mayor, and 100%, if we find that it's happening over and over from one particular officer, that officer will be disciplined, retrained, and or dismissed if it doesn't get remedied. That
Okay.
100% will happen. But if it's, one-off here or there, mistakes do happen. They are working hard. So, there's a lot of things they're processing in a day, but we try to be reasonable with that too, But if it is an ongoing problem, then we handle it. But
All right.
this absolutely makes it back to them. They get a lot of it from me, trust me.
All right.
I even made notes to these today, so you can bet tomorrow, we're gonna be having those conversations again to reinforce that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But I can tell you just last week, there was a staff meeting just in code to pull things together even more, so it happens very frequently.
All right, thank you.
Excuse me.
And when it comes to, 1 minute, when it comes to the topic of the car issues, breaking the windows and stuff, I received multiple calls today actually, because there was a series of incidents in the same street, Oliver, toward Hamtramck, and so this is an issue that's it's annoying to the residents, and they've been complaining about it. I have talked to you and the police chief about some issues, individual issues that we reported to the police department, and we made reports. But those same people keep calling me and say that the police did not follow up with them. And they keep calling the police department, what have you done about my thing? For example, a girl had someone sending stuff under her name to overseas, like money and stuff. She came multiple times to here. I even talked to the police chief about it. She said they haven't followed up with her. It's a serious problem to her. Maybe the police consider it not a priority, but to some individual, this is a major issue that affect their safety, security, background, whatever. So sometimes if we try to address one issue, maybe it will prevent further issues in the future. Like if we focus now on, those people who break the windows of the cars every day. If we catch this group, maybe we'll solve the problem forever, because it could be the same people. But if we put it on the side, focus on major things, then it will continue to happen, and more reports will come to the police department, and more work will be done. But if we focus on it, try to, solve this issue, catch those criminals, then that will put an end to this problem. And so I would like at this moment to give the police chief a moment to explain to us what have they been doing about this. Because
While police still coming to the podium, I just want to share the comment the lady made. That we can't give all those credit in secure city to the police department, because lady told me since the neighborhood change, Bengali and Muslim, Yemeni people came, we feel more secure. We don't have hijack on the street. We only one bad thing is they stay awake late night. Other than that, we feel much secure in the city.
Well, we know that most
police not gonna take all those credit.
Yeah, most
It's our
people
neighborhood
come
too.
from outside of the city. We know that, the most
So I
criminals.
think what needs
But
to happen is that we need to close the discussion about the code
And then open
enforcement,
another.
and then maybe part of your remarks could be this discussion, I guess, if you wanna do that. Or you could suspend the rules and create a discussion about.
Something else, okay.
Maybe, he was supposed to comment on the people who had public comments about this issue. but if you.
It's not
we
the
can-
code enforcement related.
Mayor, do you
We can
suspend-
suspend the rules and give the police
Okay.
chief,
Suspend the rules.
yeah. And then you can say in your reports whatever you wanna say.
I just mentioned couple things for the
Okay,
code
go ahead.
enforcement. I see sometime many people they new. When we hire people, the code enforcement, do you make him a training?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, when you make the training, the people work in code enforcement. Sometime I drive in wrong. I see some people work code enforcement in the street. They stay couple hour, and later next week I see some ticket. The very important trash, and something is broke, or some people they working is no permit is okay. But when they find out a small thing is dirty and the wall in the house from outside, small thing is not paying. I would like dirty, you make him a ticket, you have to pay that one. Small thing is not even like, it's not a fault.
Couple inches.
Yes, couple inches, 5-6 inches. And many time I came over there, we're gonna take it. I don't need to come to you to make dismiss. We need to fix this issue before I come to you. A lot of people they have attention. A lot of people they have ticket for a small thing. It's not big reason if they have a trash is okay. Trash container in the alley is okay. People they working is no permit is okay. Big in the backyard some broke. Big thing is okay, they have a ticket. But a small pain is not one time, like 100 times.
Put the notice.
Councilman, I do review anything that comes at me, as far as code stuff. And I'm not gonna say that I haven't seen a couple that I was like, probably shouldn't have gave that to them, but that is very few and far between. Usually it's larger items, but even with that said, I mean, I hear council loud and clear. We have actually in the past few weeks, I think about a month ago, I directed code specifically, if a particular area of the city is looking pretty good, shift everybody to the area that's not, because I don't want our residents to feel like they're being picked on when there's plenty of other stuff to do that needs addressing. So, but with that said, I mean, it's been a long time since I seen one that I thought was insignificant.
When I came many time, people they have a ticket for a small thing. People they spend time in the street to find out small issue is nothing. They have to send a ticket. Some people they don't have time to come. If they have a big reason, it's okay. Ticket, double time is no problem. But a small thing in the fence, in the wall, oh, this is not paying.
Well, we passed a resolution, minor things, you get warning before violation. This is, if it's the first time, but if the person keeps doing the same mistake over and over, it's not gonna be
We do
warned.
have a lot
We did
of chronic
that.
offenders too.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that make the most noise that are the worst offenders as well. That happens very frequently.
All right, with that, I think we come to the end of
Yep.
the code enforcement discussion, and I will suspend the rules and give the police chief a minute to talk about, you know, the issues that we just
need a
discussed
second.
today.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanna say, the same issues that you heard, I heard myself, honestly, I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. I don't think a lot of you are aware of it, but, I feel like our detective bureau were doing their job efficiently. I think the city manager is well aware of that. I disciplined some of the detectives because they were not following up on a lot of cases. Now, I'm speaking first of all as a chief, but also I'm a resident. With me today is our special investigator, David Adamczyk, who's been signed to me, but also signed to the Wayne County, deal with these things, comes with a lot of experience. Our lieutenant commander, I disciplined him. I was gonna change him to patrol. He comes in next week and says he has to take off for FMLA, family personal issues,
Chief,
whatever.
you need to be careful with
Yeah, I
personal
know.
issues.
It's not personal, it's professional, to be honest with you. That was my intent. If you're not doing your job, he wasn't doing his job professionally, something that's not personal, is it?
No, he was just
In
asking.
the profession.
Yeah, it's not personal. And I've been saying this from the beginning. Detective Bureau needed some change. The reason being, they were not following up what I felt like they were doing their job efficiently. Now, we have Sergeant Robert George, who is a very competent supervisor. to have full faith in him, and he's doing a phenomenal job. He just started next week. I gave him my full confidence. He's taking control of Detective Bureau. He's gonna be held accountable. His predecessor, who was a lieutenant, did not do a good job. He came to my office specifically and said, I don't know how to do investigative work. That's his exact words. How can you be a lieutenant detective?
So basically, you're having conflict on your department. Are you getting help from the city manager
Well,
to
city
fix
manager's
those?
very supportive, has no.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
If we talk about personnel issues, it should be probably.
Close session.
Close session.
I mean,
So-
you wanted to address this because.
No, you don't have to mention names.
Well, no, we're not
Yeah.
mentioning names.
That's why I can explain the.
Broader terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're saying broader terms, but I think it's important that, that to let you know that we are aware of it and that we did make the necessary changes. This is not reflective of the Hamtramck Police Department.
Great.
I think it's my responsibility as a chief of police, if someone's not doing their job efficiently, they should go to other places or other bureaus within the department to do other things. But I think now, going forward, we have new people that came in who are very competent, highly competent, and we have Sergeant Robert George, who's got my full confidence, is doing a phenomenal job. And now we have weekly meetings and following up on these cases. Now, I'm speaking as a resident, because I walk down the street and I get calls all the time. Hey, chief, what's going on with this? I get the same thing, and the follow-up is a lack of follow-up. With schedules, we changed their schedules because a lot of detectives were leaving early. How can you follow up if you're home by 2 p.m.? You can't follow up, and people come in here 7 p.m., there's no detective. So, those are things that we're taking, necessary changes to improve the efficiency of the department. I think with our city manager, when he said crime is down, when we look at facts versus reality, it is down. If we look at auto thefts, like for the week to date, we're 5 versus 8 compared to last year. For the 20-day, we're 31 versus 25. We are up 24% for the 20-day. So that shows that there's a significant increase. But when we look at for the year to date, we're still down 8%. These are stuff that we created because we want to make sure that we track our data and know where the crime is taking place so that we can, tackle the crime wherever it is. And we can use our school officer resources whatever we have available to us to address that crime wherever it may take place. I just want to say thank you, David Damchuk being here. We're creating a whole ComStat, we're doing the whole videos like our city manager has said, so that we're very transparent with everybody. But at the end of the day, if you wanted to address the elephant in the room, this is what it is. I think it's important for you to know the issues that we're dealing with. But in regards to support, the support is there. I think going forward with Sergeant Robert George, who's very experienced, he worked with FBI, got good investigative skills. No one should come to my office and say, I don't have investigative skills, and you're leading a detective bureau. But we took care of that, that's it.
One more issue.
Excuse me, I got one question. Mayor?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Chief?
Oh, the badge, okay. All right, yeah, thank you, Sam. So I think we wanted to mention about the new badge, and I think that if you look at the old badge, it had a state of Michigan. I think I take pride in being a resident of Hamtramck, and so we wanted to make sure that reflects our police department. If you're gonna walk in the streets, you better take pride in your city. And part of that pride is you put your badge that has the emblem of your city, the city of Hamtramck emblem. So we wanna make sure officers walk, with pride in their uniform, but also when they investigate your case and when you come in, that they handle it with pride, but also give people their dignity and honor and respect they deserve when they come in here.
So, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Sumeri?
I got a question for people working, parking, they have a ticket, parking ticket. Is coming back from the chief police or from the city manager? The parking ticket from the street or from the alley?
It's code enforcement.
Parking ticket.
Yeah, or sometimes code enforcement.
Code enforcement, same thing.
No, it's not.
Parking.
Many people, they have parking ticket, and same thing, we mentioned like 7, 8 months. Many times. People, they have a ticket and the street is closed for construction. Why they give him a ticket?
Yeah, I think the city manager actually emailed me a week ago and told me, and called me personally, and told me that there's a lot of complaints about people getting tickets in construction sites, and we did notice that, and we spoke to those parking enforcement officers about the issue, and we did go over there. We realized that there's a lot of construction. Even one of the principals in the local school got a ticket and notified our officers. So yeah, we will address those. You bring it up, but like I said, we did notice that.
Okay, why don't fix this issue before they have a ticket? If the people working, if they're training, if people working, why I give these people ticket and they have the street is closed for some reason?
So I think some of them were legitimate tickets, like they parked in a place where maybe they were probably better signage, arguably, but like I said, nevertheless, I think what the city manager wanted to do is make sure that we give people a break, even though, because there's no parking, obviously, when there's construction.
It's closed, it's for construction.
Yeah.
It's closed, the whole block is closed. They got construction, where he gonna get parking?
Officer even cannot go inside. It's okay, so.
All right, that's for the city manager to
How many
address
times
maybe.
we talked for this issue?
Yeah. All right,
Can I-
Councilman Rafai?
Well, also to echo on my Councilman Sumeri, yes, going back again, why we have to come back and say dismiss this ticket. If they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, we don't have to go back again in this little circle. So for the parking enforcement, I know it's under your leadership or your department, just let them know if they're fixing Oliver Street and people are parking on the alley of Oliver, it's common sense. I'm not gonna write no tickets on those cars because where the heck are they gonna park? You know, so it's something that they need to, know that common sense. You know, use common sense. I'm not gonna write those guys tickets, so then we don't have to get called and bothered multiple times, like, hey, we're getting tickets, and then we have to call our city manager or call you to get, these tickets, dismissed. Instead of them writing, go somewhere else, write tickets that needs to be done. Again, about Oliver, my mom lives on Oliver, I live in that neighborhood. We have a neighborhood watch WhatsApp group, and we always, between us, we communicate with the entire neighborhood over there, that if there's anything, you always post it, we call the cops. Our issue is, a lot of them, even though, because they know I'm a city council here, but they always tag me on the messages saying, it's your city, it's your police department. So if they're calling our police department, hey, there's break-ins in that area, how come hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, not even one police officer shows up? Now, this is the issue.
Wow, that's
So
sad.
I think we need to have more patrol cars just patrolling at nighttime, at least. Being present, you kind of, once I spoke to you, you brought an idea of bringing the New York style where you kind of have the lights, not the flashing lights, but showing, police cars around. I think having that and having patrol cars patrolling around the city will kind of tell these idiots, hey, cops is around. We can't really come and break cars anymore. And also with I'm really glad that you're forcing officers going back, having these patches on their uniform, is to present who they are. If you love your department, you need to carry that patch. And also, I don't know if you're gonna put the new design of patch that you put on, or it's gonna be the old patch.
No, it's gonna be a new one, yeah, new patch.
I mean, the new design that you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just to talk about Oliver a little bit. When we first got the first case of Oliver, so it looks like, I'm not trying to imply anything, but the person that was targeted first, there was a certain amount of money that was taken from the vehicle. So what happens is when a certain, criminal entity or perpetrator does that, he assumes that there's money in multiple cars. And that's how I think it started. Because a lot of times I know within our community here in Hamtramck, they meet up, right? Different cars get close to each other, and they meet up, and they sometimes perpetrators are watching because they see people come in and out, and it's a perfect time for them. But in regards to the response, I'm definitely will look into the patrol response, and we'll follow up that meeting. That's why I have here David Adamczyk taking all the notes, and now we're following up everything that comes through here. I suppose just giving you a speech and talking about it, we want to make sure we address it.
That's it, and just have more people just patrolling.
Last 2 weeks of December, I will be there 9 p.m. I'm off.
All right, I guess you got the message, so thank you so much. With that, we come to the end of our new business. And now we move to the reports. I will start with my report, which I don't have much to say, but maybe the most important event that we had over the past 2 weeks was the ceremony to close the Sarah Garrett case. We have built the last 3 housing units in Hamtramck, and with that, 200 housing units were built over the past 50 years, and we close a dark chapter of our city history with this housing discriminatory case coming to an end. We had a small ceremony one of the new houses. And, you know, we have to be transparent with our residents. We were supposed to have the county executive here to celebrate with us, but he did not show up. You know, with the emails that came ahead of time, they wanted to come, but under one condition: the mayor cannot speak in this event. Like I care about speaking or anything. But it's a small event. The mayor is part of this historic event. I'm very proud that under my leadership we closed this case with my colleagues here. And you know, for you to say I'm gonna come, but the mayor cannot speak is very childish, you know, because the mayor is the spokesperson of the city, and I will be there. So we told them the mayor will be there, and the mayor will speak and welcome the people. Not only that, we said the mayor will present a certificate to Mr. Evans, the county executive, you know, just to, you know, kill them with kindness. We're not gonna act like children here. We know that the election had something to do with it. But we are grown men, elected officials to represent the people. This is part of Wayne County. And this city you are responsible for to develop and care about because it's part of the county. 43 communities in Wayne County, including Hamtramck. After that, we were surprised by a letter that came and said, hey, we are stopping paying you $1.4 million for the jail. That was a surprise decision. We know that it will happen, but the payment was supposed to be next week, December 1st. And to send us a letter 10 days before to say we are stopping paying you the money is something also obvious that it's one of the consequences of the election. Although Hamtramck voted more for Democrat. But it's a collective punishment, not understood at all, because we were supposed to be notified months before that you will stop paying this money, not a week or two before. So I asked the city manager and our council that next week we should confirm that they stopped using the jail because that's part of the contract. If they still operating the jail, they have to pay $1.4 million. And we have to find a way to confirm. If they still operate this jail in any form, any way, they still have to pay the money. If they stop completely and it's vacant, then they don't have to pay. They will pay just tax. So we will make sure by next week.
I'm gonna step in, sorry, if they demolish it, because the fact is, the jail is still a jail. It's existing as a jail. So if they, their new jail has so many problems. If for some reason they have to start moving people out of that new jail, they have a jail sitting there available to them. So the fact that it is still a jail means that they can use it as a jail, and in my opinion, means they needs to keep paying. If they wanna demolish the building and then turn it into a lot, then they can stop paying. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
That's right. So we need to, we need to talk to them about that. And with the money that we are losing, I mean, we have some money in the fund balance to survive for the next several years. But we are bringing this topic to the State House and Senate and to the federal government as well. I will make sure that I will deliver this and make it a federal issue. That if I get a chance to talk to the president about this, we will make it an issue. Because this is a punishment for a political stance that we took. That's unethical. We know that they will say, we've been telling you that we will move. You did not tell us that you will move this because the payment is in 4 days. That was supposed to be December 1st. Now you took the decision 10 days before or 2 weeks before. That's very unethical. And if we get a help from the federal government or the state government now that things are changing, the political atmosphere is changing, we will try in every possible way to obtain that money and more money to support our community from the state or from the federal government in any form. and we will survive. So just, this is what I wanted to mention. And we opened a new business few days back in Joseph Campo, and we continue to open new businesses in Hamtramck. It's an environment that attracts investors from other cities, and this is something good for our community. And we will continue to finish those projects that we are working on, the construction that's going on. Kniff Street will be finished hopefully before the end of the year. And that's a major project. And then, as you can see, construction is everywhere around the city. So we are doing good, and we will continue to respect our residents, whatever they believe in, whatever political views they have. We continue to work together as a team here in the city council, regardless of our different political views. That shouldn't be an issue in a country that granted you all the freedom, of speech, freedom of choice, and all of us should enjoy that privilege that we have, and without being held responsible for your political view. That shouldn't be an issue in the United States, and we should teach those elected officials who don't believe in, real democracy and respect different opinions. With that, I'll come to the end of my report, and we move to the report of the Mayor Pro Tem, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you everybody who came here and joined with us this evening. Not that much to say, especially whole country is waiting for the day after tomorrow. We're gonna celebrate our Thanksgiving. I wish you all and everyone, each and everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Drive safely, and thank you very much. See you.
Thank you. City Council?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman
I
Frye.
just want to thank everybody who showed up here tonight, and also those residents from Oliver Street, because they've been complaining for a while, and hopefully the chief will solve that issue. You guys have a good night, stay safe, and stay warm.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, sorry to hear about the retaliation that you're going through. It should not be happens. It's a democratic country. We all should, have our fair judgment we can make as an adult, and that should not be. I hope that's not the case. I wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. Also, I hope from manager will hear something about the police department. What is his statement about? Is there conflict of scheduling issue, or why we have so much complaint about from the police department? Because anything we ask, we're providing. You guys need more car, we're giving you more car. You need more police officer, you're hiring more police officers that are coming from the people's tax money. And if people not feeling secure and not getting served accordingly, then this is it for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councilman
I
Hassan.
don't like what county did to us. I want, tomorrow, our city manager goes to their facility, our facility there, visit and tell them to show us, and I agree with the Mr. Attorney. If you have the building, you have to pay us.
Yes.
If not, we can block the road, and we're gonna completely block the area. That means you're not paying, you nobody going there, I block the whole area. Okay, so, yes, we need to do it, and if we have to go as an elected official, all of us to go the executive office, we will go. If we have to go governor, we will go. If we have to go Washington, we will go. I can support that one for my Hamtramck city.
All right.
So
Thank you.
second, police things, not too long ago, one day we laid off 12 police officers. So, hey, it's up to the elected body. So they have to think about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more reports?
Yes.
Yes, Councilman Sumairi, go ahead.
Thank you for everyone come today for the meeting. and happy Thanksgiving. And I got a couple complaint. One complaint for the police. People, they have some accident, call police. They take like maybe 20 minutes, show up. Another thing, couple time complaint for the ambulance. And how many times we make complaint for the ambulance? Last week we called the ambulance, they take over half hour. Over half hour, they didn't show up. How we gonna work with this? Who's responsible for the ambulance?
All right, thank you, Councilman. All right, they will, hopefully they will address that and discuss that. And with that, I think we come to the end and we move back to the public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Corey?
Thank you. Some good arguments I've seen here. I'd like to pipe in on some of these because they're really good arguments we addressed. Some I've addressed earlier in prior years. I mentioned a few years ago, tried to get a police civilian oversight board imposed upon the department back when Ann Moise was here. And I don't think she liked that very much, but the point was there needs to be civilian oversight of general operational activities. How we hire people, how we look, how they're perceived in the community. That has been done. I know we've got a new chief, and I think he's doing a decent job, better job than Ann Moise. Nothing against Ann Moise, a person, nice person, but as far as managing, I think she left something to be desired. I've sued her myself, so in fact, I've sued a lot of people here. Some are still here, some are gone. In fact, his wife was one of the key people doing the work. She was typing all my lawsuits paper. She was researching. His wife did a lot of work for him over those.
She used to work for Mr. Truck.
Yeah, so it's kind of ironic now she works for the city, basically. She's working for a city attorney. And that's the reason I want to buy city attorney. I said, these guys are making so much money here. Guys like, we had Jamarco Mellis Horton, we had Mr. Allen, we had all these people here. These guys are making a lot of money. But cutting all that aside, the complaints I've heard about the department, number one, they're not user-friendly. In other words, if you're in public, you're in the public, they come with these black cars, they're not very friendly people. That's one complaint I've heard. Other problems I've heard, I can remember I came and tried to complain about the city council about issues with, there's one police officer, Mike Stout, and I complained, everybody got pissed off here. I went to the tab board, and also, I learned about all these lawsuits, and things started to happen with the tab board. What's happening here with the city council, when Mayor Maskey was here, they seem to like that, and neither did Trina Powell. But I think a police board would be a positive direction to go in, just so that there's some kind of dialogue between the department and the public. And as far as things with the code enforcement, same thing. I remember one point in time, I was hearing complaints that the code enforcement people had lien access, so they were phoning in people's plates, running people's plates, and they weren't even city employees, they were independent contractors. So those are some major issues. And when I was contacted by U.S. Attorney's Office, I told them about that. It's not only Mike Stout with the league, there's other people out there, as far as we know. Wow, really? Yeah. So it was stuff that need to be looked into, and I don't know if it was, but Jamel was made aware of some of this stuff, and so was Steve Shea was aware of it, because he was the director at one point. So he knew what was going on. I was thinking, why do these guys have lien access? Is this true? He goes, yeah, they did. Is that legal? I have real doubts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, that's all for public comment.
All right, with that, we move to adjourn.
I motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8:49.
Is anyone want to stay longer? Somebody. Oh my gosh!
I can tell.
I know, I gotta go to work. You don't have to go to work tomorrow morning.
Why did you wear just be 40 minutes?
What is he?
Oh, no.